All right, welcome to a discussion on water pollution. See how water pollution is a result of polluting the water. So, introduction part of water pollution. Over 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Less than a third is taken up by land. So this is the Earth. It is mainly taken, two-thirds is covered by water, as we have seen. So the role of water for our environment is very crucial. Human body also is mainly made of water, and we suffer dehydration with the inadequate water intake. If one lacks water, we won't survive. A human being needs an average of 3.7 liters a day for water for an adult man, and 2.7 liters per day for adult women. So human beings need water for other uses, such as 20 liters per day is needed. Other uses for human being, washing. For developed countries, water consumption is much higher. Let's see now the water sources. There are 4 commonly considered water sources. Surface water, which are from streams, rivers, lakes, canals, or reservoirs. Surface water is easy to abstract, but easy to contaminate, high in total suspended solid, TSS, and pathogens. So the surface water, you can easily extract it, but easy to contaminate because it is open. Second part, that is groundwater, water from aquifers, accessible by wells. If you drill down there, you can come up with the water through wells. So groundwater is low in total suspended solids due to soil filtering. Some rocks are there, porous rocks are there to the water table, so it becomes covered, so it's easier now to filtrate. Not easy to recharge and difficult to clean up if polluted, because it's under seawater obtained through desalination. There are many ways to desalinate seawater, and 4 are popular: distillation, reverse osmosis, electrolysis, and ion exchange. So the most widely adopted system are distillation and reverse osmosis using membrane, one more energy efficient than distillation and becoming more popular. Desalination, seawater is higher in cost, energy demanding, and problematic in disposing brine wastewater. Reclaimed and reused water from the former wastewater, treated to remove solids and certain impurities. Instead of being discharged into surface water, bodies such as rivers and the oceans are used for irrigation, landscaping, groundwater, recharged, etc. What is water pollution so far? It's any chemical, biological, physical change in water quality that has a harmful effect on living organisms or makes water unsuitable for desired usage. If there are some other things that are biological, chemical, certain water, so water changes its quality or it is desirable for usage, so we term it water pollution. Water has been polluted because there are addition of other materials which are not wanted. Water is polluted by infectious bacteria, inorganic and organic chemicals, and excess heat. So let's see the water quality. The ideal drinking water quality stance should be based on the health and risk assessment information, such as how much of the contaminant may be present with no adverse health effect. Scientists monitor water quality by using bacteria counts, chemical analysis, and indicator organisms. So number of colons of Fesson composed of coliform, rod-shaped bacteria present in water sample. So drinking water, 0 colon per 100 milliliter. Swimming water is 200 colons per 100 milliliter. Those are the standards for water quality. So chemical analysis, inorganic and organic chemicals, sediments content, and turbidity, mudiness created by stirring up sediments of water. Another indicator species, genetic techniques are being used to develop organisms that will grow in the presence of specific pollutants, such as toxic heavy metals in the ocean, carcinogens in food. So these will help you to indicate the quality of water by using such kind of indicator species. How do we measure water quality? So for water that is good, water quality, dissolved oxygen, BOD, biological oxygen, demand the amount of oxygen consumed by aquatic decomposers, chemical analysis looking for presence of inorganic or organic chemicals, or suspended sediments, water clarity. So those are specification. For water to be, the temperature should be at 20 degrees centigrade. And for the water that is good for human consumption, it is 8.9. Slightly polluted, it is 6 up to 8. Where moderately polluted, it ranges from 4 up to 7. Whereby the gravely polluted is below 4. How do we measure water quality indicator species? Organisms that give an idea of the health of the water body, mussels, oysters, and clams filter water. So water quality and the dissolved oxygen. As you have said, the indicator will lead us to identify the quality of water for dissolved oxygen. Types of water pollution. The type of water pollution are surface water pollution, underground water, and underground water pollution. See one after the other. For the surface water pollution, these are the natural water resources of the earth. These are found on the exterior of the earth's crust, such as oceans, rivers, and lakes. So the sources are open, such as rivers, if we have said, rivers, oceans, and lakes. That is surface water pollution. So the major sources for water pollution is through agricultural activities, where sediments are settled matter at the bottom of the liquid. Fertilizers from these agricultural activities, bacteria from livestock keeping, food processing can lead to bacteria, salt from soil irrigation, industrial, the second part, that is industrial. Factories and power plants also contribute to water pollution through their disposal. Mining, surface mining involve toxic matters such as mercury for washing their minerals, acids, sediments from mining. Too much rain and too little rain can increase water pollution. Increased moisture with more intense rains can flush harmful chemicals, plant nutrients, and microorganisms into waterways. Prolonged drought can reduce river flows, so leads to less dilution available within water because of little water being in the rivers due to drought. So warmer water contains less dissolved oxygen. Example of water pollution. You can see accumulation of unwanted material, wrongly disposed due to surface or runout. Category sources of water pollution. Sources that contribute to water pollution can be categorized into two. Category sources of water pollution. Sources that contribute to water pollution can be categorized into two different groups. There is a point source and a non-point source. Let's see what is a point source. The point source water pollution may come from a single source or variety of dispersed or scattered sources and discharged at a specific location. For example, from pipes, channel, or any other confined or localized sources. So the point was, you can easily see where the polluted water comes from, or the water that is polluting comes from. Some point sources of water pollution include waste product from factories where the pipes can be seen giving out water, waste from sewage system, waste from power plants, waste from underground coal mines, waste from oil wells. These are some kind of point sources. Example for this, one can see example of a point source, that is a pipe giving out the polluted water from a factory. Another one here, water from a point source giving out the pointed source which is polluted. Another example, several pipes giving the polluted water. So for the non-point sources, water pollution may come from single source or variety of dispersed sources are scattered and spread through the area, diffuses, and can't be traced to any single site of the discharge. You can hardly illustrate the source where this polluted water comes from, because it is scattered. Let's see here. Examples for non-point source, NPS, non-point source. That is oil or grease from cars. These cars are mobile, mind you. Fertilizers, that means from plantations. Animal waste, these animals that are kept different grounds. Grass clippings, septic systems that are leaking. You cannot trace them where they are leaking. Sewage, cleaners from boats, household cleaning products, or litter. So these are a few examples for non-point sources for water pollution. The term non-point source encompasses a large range of sources such as runoff, including sediments, fertilizer, chemicals, animal waste from farms, fields, construction sites and mines. Landfill can also be a non-point source of pollution if substances drain away from the landfill into water supply. So the landfills where the garbages, if there is a pit that has been dug for filling the leftovers, then water comes and picks them. That is water pollution. Non-point source from agricultural runoff, if this is from different plantations. Suppose when it rains, so water from rain can pick fertilizers from different plantations and bring them to a river. So this is a non-point source from agricultural runoff. See here, this is a non-point source pollution from the urban streets where water is being collected and comes here to suburban, then also join the river from rural homes. The rivers here, they bring water to the river that is affected from factory as well, from animals, feedlot. So they all contribute as runoff to non-point sources for water pollution. So the major effect of water pollution. Let's now see the major effects that are due to water pollution. Some effects of water pollution are recognized immediately. Others do not show up for months or years. The effects of water pollution include rain picks up dirt and silt and carry them into water. If dirt and silt settle in water bodies, then these sediments prevent sunlight from reaching aquatic plants. If the sun cannot reach these plants, they will finally perish or die. These sediments also clog fish gills and smother or allow too little air to organisms that live on the bottom of the body of water. So, effect of runoff pollution. It means water that is running on the surface and collecting dirty or silt. So effect of oil pollution. From this runoff, also we can have oil pollution. If oil is spilled on water, the effect on the ecosystem are harmful. Many animals can be destroyed, inherited in case they ingest oil. Mind you, oil cannot allow air. Oil makes water releases of foul odor and causes a sticky film on the surface of water that kills animals. Oil is the most harmful pollutant for water. We are told that oil is the most pollutant for water as it causes killing of animals. Why? Because on top of water, the layer that is brought by this oil cannot allow air to pass through. So these animals cannot survive if they happen to use this water. Contaminated groundwater effects. So the water underground can also be affected. Now, the effect if the groundwater is affected. If contaminated water absorbed into the ground leads to serious effect, there is a probability for people to develop liver or kidney problems and cancer or other illnesses. Where contaminated groundwater effects. So the danger might come, these human beings might come up developing the liver and kidney problems and cancer as well if the groundwater is contaminated by some minerals like lead. Fertilizers and other chemicals. Nitrates and drinking water lead to diseases of infants that may lead to their death. For example, cadmium is a metal in its large derived fertilizer. This can be observed by crops. When people ingest this, it causes liver and kidney damage. The inorganic substances like mercury, arsenic, and lead are the causes of pollution. Other chemicals can also lead to problems concerning the taste, smell, and color of water. So let's see the effect of agricultural water pollution. Rain and irrigation water drains off cultivated land that has been fertilized and treated with pesticides. These pesticides are toxic and can pollute water in different modes. For example, aquatic plants growth cause deoxygenation of water and annihilate or destroy flora. Flora, that means plants, and fauna, meaning that animals in a stream or lake and rivers. So effect of agricultural water pollution. There are 4 major routes through which pesticides each reach the water. It may drift outside of the intended area when it is sprayed. It may percolate or leach through the soil. It may be carried to the water as runoff, or it may be spilled, for example, accidentally or through negligence. They may also be carried to water by eroding soil. So those are the effects of agricultural water pollution. Effect of thermal water pollution. Machineries in the industries are cooled with water from lakes and rivers. This water reaches the river in a heated state. This water decreases the ability of aquatic system to hold oxygen and raises the growth of warm water species. Because this water, if it's allowed to flow or to enter the water body when it is hot, which is not normal, it can lead to changes of the state of water, which is not favorable for organisms that which are living in the water body. Effect of heavy metal water pollution. Heavy metals like lead, mercury, iron, cadmium, aluminum are present in water sources. These metals are present in the water sources. These reach the food chain through plants and aquatic animals. This causes heavy metal poisoning in the case the level in the water is very high. That means the water table is very close to the soil for plantation. Groundwater pollution. Considerable amount of Earth's water is found in soil or under rock structures called aquifers, where water is being collected under the ground. People use aquifers to obtain drinking water and build wells to access it. In case this water is polluted, it is called groundwater pollution. This is caused by pesticide contamination from the soil, and this can affect drinking water and lead to huge problems. So groundwater pollution, the water that is underground is being polluted. How? Sources of groundwater pollution. So oil spills, paint thinners, sewage, hazardous waste injections, well, waste lagoons, landfills, fuel tank leaks. We have got a tank for fuel that is leaking, and it has been kept underground. So the leakage leads to groundwater pollution. Likewise for the landfill. If some pits have been constructed where these garbages have been put in the land before filling it, then the water runoff passes through and leaking towards the groundwater. So here is an example for how groundwater can be polluted. So have a look here. Those are the streams underground, confined fresh, naturally confined fresh water aquifer. But if this is a well pumping here downwards there, so if they come in contact, confined aquifer groundwater here, large leak from fault casing. So these in red, if are the leaks leading to the source, that is groundwater or confined fresh water aquifer. This one here also leaking towards the same source. Already now you will have contaminated the groundwater. Also, another example is here. You have got a leaking tank. A tank is kept somewhere here underground and is leaking. So the leakage if it is oil or fuel, it's going to contaminate. So this is the aquifer bedrock here. The bedrock is keeping this water here. So you can see this arrow. So water here will be contaminated. If at all you sip up here, they are taken for use here, it will be contaminated. This is the water table. We are groundwater, gasoline, leakage plan, liquid phase. So the water well is there, water well. So you are taking water well where already the contamination has taken place. Gasoline is mixing up with the water. How can we prevent water pollution then? It's very paramount. How can we prevent water pollution? Pollution can be prevented. It is up to us to put effective prevention strategies like the following into practice. Plant trees, shrubs, and grass to hold soil in place. To hold soil in place, in its place. Fertilize a garden and yard plants with manure or compost instead of commercial inorganic fertilizer. Minimize the use of pesticides. Minimize it. Do not apply fertilizer or pesticide near a water body, the water source. Not pour pesticide, paints, or solvents oil, antifreezer, or other products containing harmful chemicals down in the drain or onto the ground. Farmers can keep livestock out of waterways and manage manure. Regularly check septic tanks for leaks. Check the septic tanks for sewage. If at all they do not leak up. Keep leaves, litter, pet waste, and other debris out of street, gutters, and storm drains. Dispose of hazardous chemicals correctly. Do not pour them down the drain or drainage system. So some laws have been kept here for reducing point source pollution. Set up standards for allowable level of key water pollutants, and it requires Clean Water Act, set standards for key pollutants, required permits for discharge, requires sewage treatment, requires a permit for wetland destruction. So some laws should be put in place governing on how to dispose or to allow for wetland construction or any activities, how the sewage system should be conducted. So there must be some laws in place to govern this, how to control the water pollution. Yeah, as well said, for sewage treatment system, there must be some septic tanks instead of leaving water to flow openly or surface runoff. As you see an example on how the proper way of constructing septic tank with manhole for cleanup from home, then the septic tank here. I want to come up. Why? So very, very close to the water source, the buffer or protected areas, zones near streams should have such kind of vegetation to control the runoff, water runoff. This will purify or will filter the water before reaching the streams. So you can see this good zone, very, very close to the river or any other water body. This will ensure or will reduce the water pollution. All right. So for agriculture, prevent soil erosion and only apply needed pesticide and fertilizers. Yeah, this makes the end of this session for water pollution. Till next time, thank you.